What's up, y'all? It's your boy. It's your boy. It's your big homie. I'm back in here. Y'all know I'm on this highway, getting this ride in. You know what I'm saying? Gotta go make them snaps. Need that cheddar. So I really want to talk to these kids that's out here in the street letting this world influence them. You know what I mean? Because this world is a cruel place, you know. Ain't no safety in this world, you know. But I think, you know, as a parent, or just being a human being, you know, we got to make it safe for these kids out here. And what I mean by that, let me just use a parent part first. If you got some kids out there, no matter what they said or what they did, and you know they in the world and they fucked up, well, not even fucked up, but they having a hard time finding their way after they left home because they knew everything. Make sure that they know that they can always come back home. You know, because they gonna need a place to go to regroup. And it ain't gotta be when they come back like, oh, I told you so. No, you ain't gotta beat them up. You just gotta, you know, let them know you gotta be stronger next time. You know, because we went out here and we did some things. Didn't work out for us when we was in our 20s and things. We jumped out like, mama, I'm moving out. Shit, some of us 16, 17 like me when they left home. You know, but we gotta figure this shit out. You know, we gotta make it safe for them to come back home to regroup. You know, because if you don't make it safe for them to come home to regroup, they gonna still be in the world. And the world ain't gonna love them like you do. You know, the world ain't gonna give a fuck about your kids like you care about them. I don't care them, I say them bastards, because I say it about mine sometimes. They might do some crazy ass shit, but I still love them. And that's what we gotta realize. We gotta let our kids know when they leave home, hey, you supposed to leave the nest. But if you can't fly right and you have to regroup, it's okay to come back home. Because we got you. You don't want the streets to get them. Man, shit just ain't gonna be right. And you gotta put your arms around them and let them know, hey, I love you. You know, you just gotta tell these kids you love them, man. These kids, I don't think they know what love is. They so influenced by Instagram and Facebook and shit. You know, thinking they oughta have this and that, thinking they entitled to a lot of shit. But you gotta tell kids I love you, but you ain't putting no work in. You know, when you ain't entitled to nothing you ain't putting no work in for. That's another thing. Y'all out here spoiling these kids. They ain't work for shit. Then they get in the world and think the world supposed to spoil them. No. That ain't how this shit work. You gotta work for everything you want. This world don't give a fuck about you. Your job don't give a fuck about you. Your employees don't give a fuck about you. And you gotta instill that in them kids. Because they don't know. They get out in this world thinking everybody they friend. They got the perfect job. They can't never get laid off. None of this shit gonna happen to them. Because you spoil them, not making them work for shit. And they figure like, hey, this is how life gonna be. Life ain't like that. Life ain't like that. We gotta teach our kids about the real life. Quit spoiling their ass. Make them work for shit. You know? I see motherfuckers going all out on graduations and shit. Kids ain't even graduating. They got to go to summer school. Some of them don't even go to summer school, wind up in school another year. But you didn't bankrupt yourself. Birthdays used to cost a couple of $100. You know? Now, birthdays cost a couple of $1,000. Everybody want all this special shit. Like, come on. Now, I understand there's some exceptions to the rules. If you got some kids that's getting them grades, doing what he's supposed to do or she's supposed to do, then yeah, don't spoil them a little bit. But even in that, you got to be careful, because you still want them to make sure that they understand they got to work for shit. It ain't going to be handed to you. You ain't entitled to it. You know, something my mama told me once, and I never understood it until I became an adult. I was like, dang, Mom, I got good grades. Man, what you gonna give me? She said, you got good grades for who? She said, that's what you're supposed to do. That's gonna better your life, not mine. I was like, damn. But later on, she slapped me a couple of dollars. But as I got older, I realized you don't reward a kid for shit they supposed to do. You know, they supposed to clean their room. They supposed to do chores. You know, they supposed to go to school and get good grades. You know, you're not supposed to go to jail. That's the real shit. You know, you're supposed to graduate. You know, niggas be like, well, I graduate, what you gonna do for me? That's the better your life, and you're supposed to do that. So I think sometimes we reward our kids for the wrong things. We gotta instill in them what they supposed to do to better their lives. And when you training them from a kid to a young adult, that's what you gotta let them know. You gotta work for this for you. I'm okay as a parent. Now I'm trying to make sure you okay, so when I ain't here, or you gotta be out on your own. That's facts. And I know people gonna say, well, my mama did this for me, my daddy did that for me. But at the end of the day, was you supposed to do that shit for yourself? You going to school to learn for who? That education you get ain't gonna help your parents. It's gonna help you. In the long run, your parents gonna be proud of you, real shit. They really is. But, you know, we gotta do better. I just say we need to make a safe place for our kids to come back to. You know, because some of these kids, they out here in the streets and they feel like they can't go home. So they wind up doing other shit that they ain't supposed to be doing. Male and female kids. You don't want your kids out in the street like that. And then you don't want them to get influenced by the street. You know, don't get me wrong, you don't want them to come back and be on bullshit. You still got to set ground rules when you got adult kids that's coming back home. You know, because you still want them to be on the track like, look, this is a temporary spot for you to regroup, but back to the world you go. This ain't a permanent spot. It's a temporary spot, and this is for you to regroup. That's the key. It's for you to regroup, not to come stay with my ass forever. All right, y'all. That's what I want to talk about. All right, peace.